Hey folks, I'm Harshil Patel. Thanks for your time. This is my SQL Business Intelligence analysis for AtliQ Hardware. I converted 10 ad hoc leadership questions into a decision-ready dashboard and further a set of management actions that focused on margin protection and the forecasting. So without wasting time, let's begin. Now, let's talk about challenge. The AtliQ leadership wasn't receiving decision-grade insights fast enough, which created real business risk. When pricing, product, sales decisions slow down, two things likely to happen: margin leakage and missed growth opportunity. This analysis was delivered as a cross-functional effort. I extracted data with the help of SQL and performed analysis. In my team, the analytic lead aligned KPI definitions and validated output. The business manager provided the 10 priority questions and decision context. And the data engineer enabled access to clean fact and dimensional tables from the warehouse. Execution was tracked in Jira using Kanban method with short check-ins to remove blockers and keep output consistent. Weekly hurdles really shaped my doubts and helped me to navigate my analysis as per the stakeholders' requirement. Next, I'll summarize the result into 4 management actions focused on margin protection and better forecasting. Let me start with the executive summary. Across the 10 ad hoc questions, 4 themes stand out and each maps to a clear management decision. First, the portfolio expanded by 36.33% from unique product accounted for 245 to 334 in one fiscal year, but the growth is uneven. Accessories category added 34 new products, while networking added only 3 new products. The decision is where to grow deliberately. The KPI focus should be segment revenue share, margin, and SKU productivity. SKUs means like stock keeping unit. Second, discounting. The top 5 Indian customers receive roughly 29 to 31% average discounts. Flipkart is accounted for 30.83%. This is a governance risk because it directly affects the margin and creates negotiation precedent. The next step is discounted guardrails with tiering and exception workflow. Track average discount, margin by customer, and exception counts. Third, market footprint. AtliQ Exclusive is present in APAC markets, Asia Pacific markets. The decision is whether to deepen the current market or expand. The next step is to structure white space prioritization using TAM and feasibility track through shortlists and pipeline value. Finally, the seasonality. Volume is heavily concentrated in quarter 1 and quarter 2, while quarter 3 drops to 9.99%. This impacts forecasting, the inventory inefficiency, and also the impact of COVID. The action is quarter 3, demanding smoothing plan plus inventory planning, tracked via quarter 3 volume share, forecast accuracy, and inventory turns. Now let me highlight the first insight. Portfolio growth is strong but uneven. Product grew by 36.33% from 245 unique products in fiscal year 2020 to 334 unique products in fiscal year 2021. You can see in the graphical representation where pink is for fiscal year 2020 and the blue is represented for the fiscal year 2021. Accessories drove the most of expansion, added 34 new unique products compared to the previous year and accounted for 69 to 103. Networking is still tiny at 2.3% of the portfolio. The decision is to make growth deliberate and not an accidental. Tie the segments into grow, maintain, and rationalize. Focus investment where margin and revenue potential are highest, and new SKU governance. Most important here is to keep track on revenue share, margin by segment, and sales per SKU. Now let's talk about Insight 2. Insight 2 is discount governance. When I looked at top 5 customers in India, discounts are constantly high and cluster around 30%, whether it's Flipkart, Vivex, Izon, Chroma, and Amazon. What matters here isn't a single outlier, it's a pattern. When major accounts all sit at the same level, it usually means discounting has become a default and not a deliberate or value-based negotiation. The action here is to put guardrails in place. Tag customers by strategic importance, volume, and payment terms. Define clear discount bands and route exceptions through approval. To track it, monitor average discount percentage, margin by customer, and exception discounts. Well, I previously developed a discount scenario model in previous project that takes KPI inputs and highlights the point at which incremental discount starts to materially impact profit margin. Let's move on with the Insight 3. Insight 3 is the market footprint. For AtliQ exclusive, we currently operate in 8 APAC markets: India, Australia, Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, Philippines, Bangladesh, and New Zealand. That gives leadership a clear view of where we already have commercial presence and operational coverage. What the data doesn't tell us is where we should go next. So rather than guessing the next country, the right move is a structured white space assessment. My recommendation in this short market prioritization sprint: score candidate markets on demand potential, channel readiness, and operational feasibility. This is really important for offshoring or going to any new market. Then produce a short list of top 3 with an entry hypothesis. KPI to track would be pipeline value, CAC. Here CAC, it means customer acquisition cost, payback, return on investment, quarterly revenue ramp once a market is selected. This is our last insight, but this is very critical one. Insight 4 is about operationalization patterns. 2 signals stand out. First, the channel dependency. In fiscal year 2021, retailers accounted for 73.21% of gross sale, while direct channel is accounted for 15.48%, and the distributor, so selling through distributor, is about 11.31%. This concentration is a risk. Any pressure from retailers immediately impacts on the revenue and the margin. Second is seasonal. As you can see here in the line graph, that the volume peaks in Q1 at 33.72% and drops to 9.99% in Q3. We also see monthly volatility from roughly 21.8 million in August to about 62.3 million in November. The action is seasonality playbook. Plan inventory and campaign around the peak and actively build a Q3 demand smoothing plan, bundles, B2B push-ups, target offers, and in parallel, de-risk the channel mix by growing direct in low demand periods. What are the KPI we need to concentrate here is Q3 volume share, forecast accuracy, inventory turns, and direct sales share. Now to close, here is the roadmap prioritized by effort versus impact. First, implement the discount guardrails, low effort, high margin impact. Second is run the seasonality playbook to plan Q1 peaks and smooth Q3 throughs, improving forecast accuracy and inventory efficiency. The third could be drive portfolio governance, tire segment and control new SKUs to reduce the complexity. And finally, complete a market prioritization sprint to shortlist the next markets using structure scorecard. That's the execution plan with KPI defined per action. As you can see, the transformation earlier, recurring leadership questions were handled manually in Excel, which is slow, inconsistent, and not repeatable. The shift here is standardization. I translate the ad hoc request into repeatable SQL output and consolidated them into a single management view. So instead of ad hoc reporting, we get decision engine, which leaders can use immediately. Now this is the executive dashboard that I have created for my business manager. So here the KPIs, as you can see on the screen on the left hand side, about unique products in the fiscal year, percentage of change in that, then the highest production cost, lower production cost, and then the channel revenue by fiscal year, then the product distribution, then a product growth comparison between 2 fiscal years, monthly sales during the for the whole as per the quarter wise, and you can see here quarterly sales distribution in the right hand side as well. And here in the middle you can see the table that is articulated the top 3 products by division. So this dashboard really helps some management to think about every KPIs in one screen. This is a real game changer when it comes to decision making, that where we are lacking at and where we need to improve on. Wasn't that informative? This was absolute real business. However, I kept it only business side of the project. If you want more information about the ATL process or check out how I extracted ad hoc requests through SQL, you can find it on GitHub repository. In addition, if you have any questions for this project, you can email me as well. Again, thanks for watching.